side of the stairwell. Stairs. So I'm making a video response to the cosplay tag video that Marika and Weepy made. Question 1. How did you get into cosplay? I had a friend, Tessa. We were neighbors. She was like, hey, do you want to go to a convention? And I was like, sure. I had absolutely no idea what an anime convention was. It was probably a month until con, and I was like, oh, I did a lot of research. I found the forums. I made a costume in about 2 weeks. Now, I knew a fashion designer, so I asked her if she could make the dress for my costume, and I made the shirt for my costume. And I got a wig, which was really ugly. A hideous pink wig, but you know, our first costumes all suck. My first cosplay was Himino from Preter. Himino, like Preter isn't very well known at all, so I think 2 people organized my costume, but then again, my wig was super crazy. I had one of those super spiky wigs or something, and then that I got from a photographer. It was a pink wig. It was a pastel pink, and he used tons of product to attempt to style it into the right shape. He used a hair straightener and everything, all those terrible things you're not supposed to do with a wig. And then the fabric. I didn't know how to hem fabric, and so when I sewed it, it was all hand sewn. My part of the costume was hand sewn. I didn't know how to hem any fabric, and so all the edges were all fraying, but the costume has trim, so all my trim was fraying, and then to fix all the fraying stuff, I used a lighter to hem the edges. And then after the costume was made, my mom was like, oh, you should fold in the edges to prevent that, and I just kind of looked at her thanks mom. Favorite cosplay? I like costumes that are, I like it when my characters know and I'm not mistaken for other characters. So, Jam and Solomina are probably my favorites because I was, really well known at certain, at SuperCon there I was really well known. But, and Sally was super fun, but she's way too time consuming to consistently wear if you don't have an assistant to help you with a costume. Getting covered in body paint sucks by yourself. Number of costumes I've done. We're at 11 right now. I stopped at Joe, and Joe said Joe had, let's say, at least 15. Most of them are hand sewn. I always break sewing machines. So, some of my costumes are half hand sewn, half sewn with a sewing machine. But now I use almost solely a sewing machine, especially since Callisto was made out of leather. 5 costumes that I want to make. I want to make that chick from, I want to make that one, but wings are hard. I prefer to make my costumes, but that's because it's cheaper to make your own costume. I get a lot of my fabric for free, so I don't care if people buy their own costumes, as long as they aren't lying and say they made it. I applaud anyone who takes up the challenge of making a costume, especially the intricate ones where I'm like, I can't do that, I suck. But yeah, so memorable experiences with cosplay. Where's my head? Cosplay chess is always a great experience for me. Sakuricon Cosplay Chess is scripted, so we get to pre-plan our battles and we get to have a lot more, well, like we have better battles, they're scripted, we get to have music, the audience loves it, it's one of my favorite events at a convention, just because I like performing and I like entertaining people. So, and then it helps really like create a character for your cosplay. Like a lot of people don't like have a character with their character, if that makes sense. I have a hard time creating a character the first time I wear it. Takes a couple wears before I'm like, alright, I got this attitude and stuff. One of my favorite ones was I was wearing Selmina, and it was a Sunday match, and they used the script from a Saturday match. So I chose which character I wanted to be, so I could kill everyone. And the opposing team was the king was Jesus, and the queen was the Pope. And I got killed by Jesus, and it was quite funny. He stabbed me. He had a little knife in his thing. I'll link you that video because it's hilarious. If I can cosplay in a group, I love cosplaying in groups. I love having groups of people to be with. But no one's really all that reliable to making a costume, so I do a lot of solo stuff. I'll even make a costume for a group and then everyone else will bail on me. But I think I have some new reliable friends who have similar interests in cosplays as I do, which is great. Yay! A pattern in my cosplays. Yes. Maybe. Not really anymore. I tend to do either really sporty attitude, not snarky, more like badass type characters, or super magical girls. Like, I go both ends where I'm like super monotone, like whatever, I'm cool, to like, which really makes me seem like a dog. Now why did I do that? That's weird. My most recent cosplay was Callisto and Autolycus. So my boyfriend was Autolycus and I was Callisto from Xena and Hercules from the 90s. It's a live action American show for those who've never seen it. It's super fun because I get to be a crazy blonde bitch, and my boyfriend was Autolycus the King of Thieves. He was Bruce Campbell. He got recognized as Bruce Campbell. I get recognized as Khaleesi, or Daenerys from Game of Thrones, and I look at people and I'm like, does Daenerys wear leather? I have a lot of times where I have to be like, does this look like that character? I try to do it as politely as possible, but I'm always amused when it's like super wrong, or if it's slightly wrong. I like try to help them along on their thing. One more. So I'm doing this one out of order. It's the 5 costumes, dream costumes. Alexiel from Angel Sanctuary. Definitely number one of what I want to do. I want to dream would be like have a group of Pretty Cure cosplays. I already have 3 costumes that are Pretty Cure characters. I want to make a really awesome leather latex outfit suited character. I don't know who really, but I just think it'd be super awesome, because I think suits are hot. But I'd have to make it myself. I couldn't like buy something and alter it because I'm super long in the torso and it sucks. I'll get back to you on the other 2 or 3. Elevator! Teresa from Fable 2 and 3 is like the only Teresa where she's blind and stuff. That'd be awesome. Teresa! I think I want to make Morgan, but I'm not sure if I still want to make her from Dragon Age. I like Morgan, she's awesome. This is my school. I go to the Art Institute. Or One more character.